on right now.
This is Spotlight on Stark County with Pam Cook and Gary Rivers.
Welcome back to a special Monday morning edition of Spotlight on News Talk 1480 WHBC. I'm Gary Rivers hosting, and joining me in the studio, both on the air on the radio station and also Facebook Live, is Dominic Fonte, your local Cutler realtor. Good morning, Dom.
Gary, how are you today, sir?
Real good. Monday morning, starting off right. Looking at real estate, huh?
We're always trying to figure out how to make people more money in the long run. The long game. We're always looking at the long game.
Well, real estate, let's jump in and talk about real estate, where we're at now, because every time I talk to you, the market changes so rapidly. I didn't realize that interest rates, we never thought they would go down, but they did.
The rates went down when we went through the debacle in 07. So 7 to 13, we had that several years of a brutal market, and actually they locked those rates in at 3%. Now that the market is improving, the inventories have waned, we are looking at about 3.99 or 4%, which is really
still
a
really
very good rate. It was 3, but when you think about it over the last 20 years, I mean, think about what the rates were. 8% was a killer rate back in the day. So now, the economics are, I think that it's a perfect storm in a way because the rates are good, the unemployment's good, the psychological, I think, value of our stocks and investments and our real estate values are on the incline. So I think really, when you think about it, real estate is probably a very good time to invest in it, as well as buy it or possibly sell it. And we can talk about all those segments.
Sure.
If we can.
Well, yeah. In fact, you were talking about interest, the value of your home when trying to sell it increased rather a hefty increase last month.
I mean, as of April, I just ran some stats here just for your listeners and viewers. We have year-to-date quarter, which our quarter was actually off compared to last year due to probably weather conditions. There was less foot traffic. But in April, it really hit a high mark. And the high mark was the median sale price was up 7.4% for April, which is huge. But then if you average that out, for the quarter, 18 versus 19, it's 0.42.
Okay.
So a healthy market, a normalized market, in my opinion, is probably somewhere in that 3% mark.
Yeah.
We've been hovering anywhere between 5 and 7% over the last couple of years. And I believe it's going to start to normalize over the next 12 months.
So that's good news for those who want to sell their home. If they're using it as an investment, you're getting a nicer price for your home.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you're building equity now, whereas, back when we went through 7 to 13, a lot of people were upside down with their equity. So they didn't have equity in their home, so therefore they either turned them into rentals or lost them through short sale or foreclosure, which is why the whole market tanked back in the day. So now we have low inventory. Actually, as of April 2019 versus 2018, our inventory supply, which means it takes, how many months does it take to use up that inventory? A healthy market is between 5 and 6 months. We are currently, as of April, at 2 months supply. Which is, I mean, that is, if you think about it, that is the lowest it's been, since, I would imagine, probably the 70s.
No kidding. All right, so what does that mean to the homeowner? Let's say you own a home right now, and you're thinking of maybe retiring and selling it, maybe going to a smaller home and what have you. This gives you a better opportunity to increase your value, right?
It does. So here's the tricky part. When you've been in your home for many, many years, it's scary, because it's a big decision. And it isn't like when you think about it, most people between the age of 25 to 75 maybe do this 3 times. So if you've been in your home 25 years or more, it's pretty stressful to go through the laborious process.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet.
One of the things you want to think about is, when you think of retiring, many times they're thinking of, well, you know what, I can't maintain the yard or the steps or the laundry's on the basement level, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Or I can't get my foot in over the shower or the tub area. So before you decide to sell, sometimes you might want to consider, should you stay there? What's your position on your home mortgage? Sometimes people are saying, you know what, maybe I should consider a reverse mortgage. So there's lots of options on the table. But there's several things you want to consider, and one of them would be the affordability. So as you move forward with retirement, a fixed income, looking at inflation, looking at maybe a homeowners association who's going to cut the grass and trim the trees, there's things like that you want to consider. If you go to a condo or a villa where they pay you pay a fee for some of those benefits, sometimes that helps you out. But in general, you want to look at that. You want to look at your equity position. A lot of times what I'm hearing is people are a little bit uncomfortable thinking about, what if I don't find the home I want and I sell my home too quick? So a lot of times, you could have a strong equity position in your home, and you can bridge a little equity out to go ahead and purchase your new home so that you know for sure you have a place to go to.
Right.
And then once you locate that home, you can then go ahead and put your home on the market and sell it and recast that loan if you get a small loan. A lot of times in retirement, you don't want a loan. You want to pay cash for it.
Sure.
But until you sell your home, you can't do that, let's say. So you bridge the equity out. It's a very inexpensive, low-risk way to do it. Then you secure the home of your dreams or that retirement home. And then you pay off your equity line when you sell your home. And then they recast that loan so you can go and lower that down to next to nothing or pay it off in full.
Got it.
So it's a pretty nice way and a low-risk way to do it.
These are the questions, though, people probably have. They need to stop into your office and talk to you about it, right? I mean, it doesn't sound like it's a simple process.
Well, it seems scarier because it's not the norm. Because, like I said, if you do it 3 times in your whole life, you don't really understand all this. It's scary. So you want an expert in your corner to protect you, to guide you through the process. And like I mentioned before, it's like a GPS. If you're driving across the country in the dark, you have your GPS and your headlights. You can only see 10 or 20 feet in front of you,
right?
And you can get all the way across the other side of the country. But the reason why is because you got this navigational device. I would be your navigational device. I've been doing it 31 years. I've helped 1,800 plus families go through this process. And again, I always have to remember, what you're going through, what you're going to go through. And there's a lot of emotions mixed up with the financial burden. And, when you rely on Social Security or if you're relying on your retirement account, which a lot of people don't have that.
Right.
So there's lots of avenues. You just want to get, I think, informed. It's important to make that meeting. Set up a meeting. You can reach me at 330-418-1535 or send me an email at Dominic@DominicFonte.com. And we can set up a meeting. It's not a pressure cooker type situation. It's more to inform you so that you make that decision that you'll be very pleased with in the long run.
And really finding that realtor that you are comfortable with, you've got to have that sit down. And you don't have to just, somebody throws a name out at you. This is why we talk to you to say, hey, look, this is a guy that seemingly really cares, and you do.
Well, when you think about this full process, you want to make sure it's scary because you don't want to make a mistake.
Right.
It's not like gambling away in Las Vegas. You want to make a calculated decision. Unfortunately, all agents aren't created equal. It's just like your doctor, There's good doctors, medium doctors, and great doctors.
Right.
And I want you to just make sure, since you don't do this a whole lot, you want to pick a great doctor. The great realtor, that would be me. Reach out to me anytime and at least get informed about options that are on the table for you in the future. And if you like them, if it makes sense, you process it through the way you think. If you're analytic, you go through all the charts, the pluses and the minuses, and if it makes sense, you move forward. If not, then you get more information. But I find I've been very blessed and successful with guiding people with the heart of a teacher to make sure that they make a great informed decision.
And you've got a whole team with you. We're going to talk more about that team and also maybe some of the literature and websites you have that can help people as well. So we're going to do that. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back on News Talk 1480 WHBC, a special Monday morning spotlight with Dominic Fonte.
Hey, Stark County, we know why you listen.
My local community is really important to me. What's going on, what affects me directly, that is very important.
We know why you listen.
Traffic conditions, the business that I'm in, is super important for me to know because I'm traveling a lot.
You won't need any other station.
I think that they are bringing up a lot of issues that are really important for our generation.
Canton's Morning News with Pam Cook.
I think it's really important for people to be informed, and one way to do that is to have news.
We are in this together.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
At Walgreens, we know that your day doesn't stop for diabetes. So when you've got places to go and people to see, count on Walgreens every day to get expert diabetes advice 24/7. Find all major brands of testing supplies like Walgreens True Metrics in-store and online. And download tools to help you stay on track, like our 5-star mobile app with Pill Reminder. At Walgreens, we are your diabetes go-to. Stop by and talk to your pharmacist today. Walgreens, trusted since 1901.
Our pets are as precious to us as our family. They greet us happily when we come home. They provide us with a sense of companionship and are always by our sides. It's been said that a pet's life is a percentage of our lives, but we are all of their lives. It hurts terribly when we lose our fur babies. Hi, this is Joe Packley with the Packley Pet Crematory. In 2012, we opened our pet crematory separately from our human crematory to take care of families who have suffered the loss of a pet. Every pet is taken into our care with love and respect that they deserve. Our promise to each family that your pet will be cremated one pet at a time, and you can be assured that the cremated remains returned to you are those of your pet only. Cost is based on the weight of your pet and includes a container. For more information, visit our website at packley.com or call us at 330-833-3222, 330-833-3222.
I'm always happy to tell you about things I've discovered to save time and energy, and that would be Walmart's grocery pickup and delivery. Just use the Walmart grocery app or order online. Pickup is free and can be in an exact time. There is a small fee for delivery, but you can pick a 1-hour window that you want. And Walmart staff selects the best items like you do, no matter what it is. Fresh foods, bulk items, doesn't matter. There's a money-back satisfaction guarantee, and you can use my code WOWFRESH for $10 off, $50 or more.
History is everywhere and in everything, especially here in Stark County. From sports legacies to industrial development to the people who made it all happen, Stark County has seen it all. Tune into WHBC and the Hackenberg Financial Group's weekend radio shows, The Time Machine and The Sports Time Machine, and travel back in time with your hosts Larry Hackenberg and Jennifer Tassan. Find out more about where you live with The Time Machine and The Sports Time Machine, right here on News Talk 1480 WHBC. Brought to you by Miller & Company, Canton Aluminum, and Fulton Drugs.
Now back to Spotlight with Pam and Gary.
Welcome back to a special Monday morning edition of Spotlight on News Talk 1480 WHBC. Dominic Fonte in the studio with DominicFonte.com, your local Cutler realtor. And boy, we can talk. There's so much to talk about in real estate. There really is on what's available, what folks are looking for. You had mentioned as we went into commercial break about buying a second home.
I believe that you have to think broader.
Okay.
You know, and I think what the problem is a lot of people, unfortunately, live paycheck to paycheck, and if there's a catastrophe, they may only have maybe 1 month reserve.
Right.
And, you know, it's hard to envision how to do this, but it's very doable. For example, let's say you're in your 40s or 50s and you're thinking you might want to retire to a warmer climate, or you have like me, I have 5 children. I have 3 in college. So, you know, you wonder, how do you afford to pay that? And a lot of people are in debt with college debt. The parents take equity lines out.
Sure.
The kids are deep in debt, you know, like $1.5 trillion, which is probably the biggest debt load of anything. So one of the things that I'd like to share, and this is just looking at it differently, is that let's say, for example, you're in your home and you're in a pretty good equity position. You've been paying on it for a while. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, you know, you're thinking, well, I don't want to be a landlord, or I don't want to think about a second home because I don't want to deal with that yard or that second furnace or the roof.
Or renters.
Or renters
Right.
that don't pay their rent. But there's a lot of good benefits to it, you know, because the renter is paying your rent. There's a way to qualify that tenant, you know, in a proper way.
Sure.
And also there's a forced savings plan. There's that equity appreciation. There's that tax shelter. And then over time, and believe me, time goes by fast. I think you agree. How old are the kids, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
So you could easily collect the rent. It isn't like you get called 24 hours a day for, you know, service calls. It just doesn't happen that way. Even if you think about your own home, how many days a week do you have to deal with the furnace or the water heater or the shingles or things like that? So I think you just have to know that you have a good call to a handyman or a furnace guy that can come out and fix things when they break, which doesn't break very often.
Right.
But when you pay that down, those landlord experience, the tenants pay it down, and it's a forced savings plan. It's an equity position. It's a tax write-off. And then guess what? In 15 years, it's now producing money where you can actually supplement the college education. You could also, have it as a second home to sell it down the road as an asset if you need to have retirement money. If you wanted to buy a property in a warmer climate, you could buy it, have a rental service, take a small fee. They would manage it. You could still have a place to go on vacation for the next 10 or 15 years till you're ready to retire. By that time, it's paid for. You have this asset that is worth, maybe $100,000 or $300,000. Also, you have residual income coming in to offset your retirement. Right. So it's kind of a broader way to think about it, but don't, put that out. I mean, the rates are still very good, 4% or less.
And you want to get it while these rates are this way.
I'm telling you, it is a golden opportunity. It's just, again, I think you need a navigator to kind of show you the options, to put it in your risk factor that you're comfortable with, and think bigger. Most of us have a comfort zone. So we're comfortable in our comfort zone. And once you start thinking about these bigger thoughts, it makes you a little bit nervous because you don't want to take a chance, because as you get older, we're going to be more conservative with our investments. I've always been a brick and mortar guy, and I've had rentals for 25 years or more. And yes, there's ups and downs periodically, but when I look at the long view, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? This is something that I need to get the message out. There's more people that need to look at this as second income.
And so the way to do that, and the way to do anything in real estate is call your office, and then what's the procedure? You basically set an appointment and you sit down and talk.
If you call my office, 330-418-1535, one of my people will answer and put you on the schedule, and you can either come to my office or I can come to your place, and we would just talk and try to figure out what options you have available based on your concerns. Sometimes, it might be 1 or 2 years out before you're ready to do anything. I get a lot of people that call me because of word of mouth. You can go to DominicFonte.com and look at my reviews. I have over 200 reviews of people that have gone through this process. They put their real name. It's not my mom or anybody else. It's not Gary filling them out. It's actually real people. And it gives you an idea of the way I handle things, and I take good care of you. And I have people on my team that specialize in the buying and the selling process and making sure that we exceed your expectations. So at the end of your experience, you'll be so happy that you would write us a review as well.
And let's talk about your website, because on it, yes, your reviews are there. I don't know how many reviews you have. You said there's well over 200.
There's like 200.
But you're like a 5-star rating almost across the board. It's crazy. But well, but that says a lot.
Well, what's happens with this experience is, as a real estate agent, and there's many of us out there, but they're not all created equal. You have to remember that I might do this many times a month or even a year. I have to remember the customer maybe has only done it 1 to 3 times in their whole life. So you always have to break it down to what they're comfortable with and walk them through the process like a good GPS or a map. And, you give them a little bite-sized pieces to deal with so that they can process it through how they think and process.
Right.
And then what happens is, before long, their comfort zone expands, and then they usually call me when they're ready to act and make a decision to either buy or sell real estate. Sometimes they want to invest. Sometimes they want to sell and lease. Sometimes they do a reverse mortgage. One of the things I brought was a quick formula for anybody that's thinking about an investment. So this is just something, as you go broader, you do what's called a cap rate. So if you were looking at a property, I'll use an example, okay. $150,000 duplex, and you're thinking, okay, this might be a good thing to do for my family planning, along with the mutual funds and all those kinds of things to diversify your portfolio. For example, if you saw a property for $150 and it brings in $625 or $650 aside, and then you have insurance and taxes and grass cutting.
Right.
So really what you do to figure out what would be a great rate of return so you know if this is a good buy or not. So what you would say is, okay, let's say you pick the location. You say, you know what, I think a 7 or 8% return on my investment would be a good investment. So how you do that is you take your gross rent in, or laundry, and you put that in times 12. So in a 650 times 2 times 12, that would give you 15,600 income. And then you subtract your taxes and your insurance and maintenance, and then whatever your net income is, you divide that by the rate of return you would like. So if you'd like a 7% return, that would be an example like this. a 175.7 sale price. So that means if you want a 7% return with that kind of numbers, you would want to not pay more than right. So if it's 150, then you're going to say, ding, ding, ding. You know what? This sounds like this might be a good value for me. And the other factor to look at is, you always look at, are the rents low for the area? Does the house need improved or the duplex? And again, you can do this to a house, a duplex.
I think what I would do is say, Dom, are you interested in buying it? So it works out. All right, I'll take it first.
Yeah.
Does that work?
It can. I can't buy all the houses, but I'm just saying I bought a few over the years.
Have you really?
I have. Yeah. I have some rental properties, and I've been through the process many times. I think in general, it's what my career is, so I feel more comfortable with bricks and mortar, where a lot of people say, well, I'm just investing everything in my retirement account. And you know what happens. It does go up and down.
It goes up and down.
If someone hiccups, it drops. If someone says something.
Donald Trump says he's going to do a tariff.
Yes.
Drops
500
down.
points. And to me, I don't like that kind of flakiness.
It is really a complete different, where in real estate,
it's more stable.
It's much more stable. There will be a time it drops, that bubble bursts, but then it always comes back up again.
Well, you know what? It's funny. When you look at the last 30 years, there's not really been a whole lot of fluctuation. It's just been a gradual, steady increase. And I think if most of the listeners or viewers look at their situation, they've been in their home 25, maybe 30 years. They bought it at one price, and now it's worth another price.
It's worth a heck
of a
lot more.
So that difference is their equity, which they can work with for a retirement or downsizing. So I'd be more than happy to share more information about that after the break.
All right, let's get the phone number real quickly for folks to call.
330-418-1535.
All right, talking to Dominic Fonte on our Monday morning spotlight at News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Stay connected to us by friending us on Facebook. Just click on the little blue F at WHBC.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Help! Seriously, I'm too young for hair loss.
My hairline keeps creeping back. Receding?
I got this bald spot.
It's thinning everywhere.
I'm gonna have to give up and shave it.
Dude, put down the razor, because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, is about to give you your real hair back permanently. Don't ignore the signs of hair loss. Bosley is giving away an absolutely free information kit that reveals all the signs, and a free gift card to anyone who texts LEADER to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Using the latest technology, Bosley's solution to hair loss is permanent and protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Plus, since Bosley has new non-surgical options, you owe it to yourself to text now for an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off, no matter what level of hair loss you have. Text LEADER to 85850. That's LEADER to 85850.
Attention all authors. Page Publishing is looking for authors. Have you written a book and want to get it published? Page Publishing will get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, Apple iTunes, and other outlets. They handle all aspects of the publishing process for you. Printing, cover art, publicity, copyright, and editing. Call 800-501-3689 now for your free author submission kit. That's 800-501-3689 for your free author submission kit. Again, 800-501-3689.
Your ride, your loan, your way. Courtesy of Friends and Family Credit Union. Here's your chance to spring into a new or used vehicle loan at Friends and Family Credit Union with rates as low as 3.99% APR with terms up to 60 months. And that includes cars, trucks, and motorcycles. And you can drive home some serious savings by refinancing your high-interest vehicle loan from another financial institution. Stop